All right, Star Wars Visions has dropped on Disney Plus, and it is exceptional. And I want to talk about cultural appropriation. And you remember back on episode 1267, I was talking about cultural sharing versus cultural appropriation. And here is the 50-second clip of what I said. I'll talk on the other side. This is back when I was in Italy at the beach writing the book.
Disney Plus is doing 6 different Japanese animation studios, has charged 6 different Japanese animation studios to produce 9 short films in anime style of Star Wars stories. They're calling it Star Wars Visions. So let's take a moment and look at how cultural sharing and inspiration can produce amazing products in the world. Some people will like to focus on tearing each other down for being inspired. A white woman being inspired by Chinese noodles. Well, let's take a moment here and just think about how amazing it is that the French directors inspired Kurosawa, Kurosawa inspired Lucas, and now Lucas is inspiring Japanese animators and anime. This is great. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the trailer. I cannot wait to see this.
All right. So just as a follow-up to that, it was released just on September 22nd, and I'll play a little B-roll from the first episode, which is, I think, called The Duel, and it is amazing. It is literally Yojimbo, Seven Samurai inspired Kurosawa, but with lightsabers and in a beautiful animation style. And my 5-year-old twins loved it. My 11-year-old loved it. I loved it. My wife loved it. We all thought it was brilliant. And I want to just one more time talk to you about how wonderful and beautiful the world can be, and how the people on social media who are complainers and whiners frame it in a negative fashion to get likes and to virtue signal, and how we should all collectively as a society ignore these whiners who are trying to create strife in our society. And we should think about the builders and the creators and what they're doing. People who complain and whine professionally, the whining class of woke whiners on social media who produce nothing in the world are not important. You know who is important in the world? The designers, the artists, the writers, the creators, the entrepreneurs, the studios, the people who manifest beauty and services and products that inspire us and make us want to wake up every day. Those are the people who matter in the world, not these complainers. And, the reference I made in that clip was to this woman who studied noodles and had a passion for noodles. She wasn't Chinese, but she loved noodles, and she liked showing people how to make noodles and was making a cookbook and was sharing her passion for Chinese noodles and dumplings. Can an American not be inspired by Chinese culture? Can Chinese culture not be inspired by Japanese culture, be inspired by Korean culture, be inspired by French culture? That's the world we want. We actually want cultural sharing and appreciation. And you can frame almost every one of these instances from cultural appropriation and just pause for a second and say, what was the person's intent? Were they intending to appropriate and take and steal from somebody? In some cases, sure, that exists as a thing. But we are looking for every single chance to say this is cultural appropriation as opposed to appreciation. And I would just like you to think for yourself. It's going to be a big theme on this podcast of thinking for yourself critically. Appreciation is when somebody actually wants to learn about the other culture and embrace it and love it. And Kurosawa was a major inspiration to Lucas, Scorsese, etc. Lucas inspired Takashi and Kamikaze, the director, writer, and animator of The Duel. And that's absolutely beautiful. And I highly recommend this series. And I highly recommend we all pump the brakes and appreciate each other and appreciate the art that we all make as societies, the food, the fashion, and just pay tribute to each other. And we used to get trained in school that America was the melting pot where everybody added something to the soup of America. And I think we need to get back to that. I think one of the reasons we have all this division is because people are focusing on everything that makes us different, as opposed to pausing for a second and thinking about how much we have in common and how much we appreciate each other. Just me and David Sachs as an example. David Sachs is a Republican. We fight on the podcast all in about he calls it the Russian hoax. I have to remind him, like, hey, listen, all these the Russians were interfering. And I've been working with Sachs offline to say, because a lot of people have been bringing this up to me, hey, we have a difference of opinion. He's more conservative. I'm more liberal, I guess. But we actually both agree that Russia's an enemy and they're both trying to manipulate Americans. We need to have some leadership here in this country that says, hey, Russia is not a Democrat versus Republican thing, and Democrats trying to catch Republicans in cahoots with Russians, or Russians trying to compromise, the NRA to make Republicans look bad and that they're in on the take and all these spies. We need to have a united front against Russian interference, or we need to be united against the competition with China. This is an existential threat to everything we do. Let's start thinking about Americans as having 80, 90, 95% of the same fabric and the same belief system and the same appreciation of each other. And yeah, if we're 5, 10, 20% different, vive la différence, that's great. You like to make Chinese food. I like to make Japanese food. Somebody likes to make Indian food. Great. That's our strength here. Let's lean into cultural appreciation. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. With Squarespace, you can blog and publish content, you can promote your business, you can announce upcoming events or special projects, and you can sell products and services of all kinds and more. No matter what the problem, Squarespace is the answer. They have beautiful templates by world-class designers. That's kind of where they got started, and everybody noticed them like, whoa, look at these beautiful designs. But they've added so much functionality since that time, including powerful e-commerce functionality. And everything is optimized for mobile right out of the box. It's got built-in SEO, free and secure hosting, and of course, their 24/7 award-winning customer support. Back in 2020, we decided we'd create remotedemoday.com for founders to pitch thousands of angel investors over Zoom. Well, we purchased the domain name remotedemoday.com and had the site up and running within minutes. From idea to execution in just minutes, and incredible functionality so you can grow with them. And it's been a huge success for us so far. I mean, we've invested tens of millions of dollars. I kid you not. So go to squarespace.com/twist for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code TWIST to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And congratulations to the team for going public on May 19th. What an amazing journey. It's been amazing to watch Squarespace grow and become such a vibrant company. And congratulations on that milestone.